So you saw what my old bike was like. I've now downgraded, stroke upgraded to this. I don't know what you guys think, but I like it. Hey, this is Pomerak Child. So I am back on two wheels, and you're probably thinking, where is the BMW K1200GT? I swapped it, and I swapped it for this, and my concerns were the fact that I was just too unpredictable on the big bike. It was way too heavy for my own good. It was way too powerful for my own good. It is a rubbish starter bike, so I thought I'd start out again as a rebirth on this. Now, in hindsight, a lot of people are probably thinking you wasted a lot of money, but I knew I'd made a bit of a dumb decision when I gave the man who I'd bought the BMW off of money to ride it home, having that for about a couple of weeks, and then deciding, yeah, this is not good, because I'd rather be riding happy than in fear of like dropping the bike or coming off. And yeah, I just want to get rid of it, cut my losses, and I swapped it for this. And luckily there was a dealer on Hayling Island that happily swapped me that for this. This is a 250cc Herald Classic. When I wanted to get a bike, I initially wanted a Royal Enfield Scram 411. Royal Enfield, British brand, but the bikes are made in India. Similar to this. This is Herald. This is an English brand, British brand, but with the bikes that are made in India, possibly China. I could be wrong. And it does feel like it. There are lots of parts that are aftermarket looking, and they don't look like they are for maybe what a Triumph or maybe the Suzuki or maybe what a Honda would be, for example. But when I say Suzuki, that's interesting because the engine is based off a Suzuki engine, and I believe Suzuki make these engines too. I could be incorrect on that, but I might be right, because it does say Japan there, because if it said India or China, then all hell would break loose. Of course, it is a single cylinder. I believe this is air cooled. 250cc machine, which means it is A2 compliant. Now, weird downgrade, me going from 1200cc machine to something that is only, well, almost a litre less, which, you know, for a lot of people something's gone horribly wrong. But interestingly, I'm happy with this. I can actually pick it up, I can move it with one hand. It's completely revolutionary. That lady just stopped for me, just check if I was alright. People are nice around here. But I had a downgrade because I wanted to maneuver it more. I wanted it to be more nimble, and I'm going to and from the city. I'm going in and out of town. I'm doing small journeys. A touring bike is good for long trips. This is so much better for the small journeys. So basically, you guys are getting a first look on what is being had here. So the look of it already looks like one of your old classics, look like your old CAFÉ RACER things, and that's partly, you know, the reason why I bought it. I looked at it at the dealership and I said, I want that one, and I fell in love with it. So yeah, only a side stand, which I thought was a little bit concerning, but no, that's all it comes with. 5 gears, 5-speed manual. One thing that I really love about this bike, look at the trip odometer. So obviously you got here, you got miles an hour on the outside, you got kilometers on the inside. So it's done about 5,400 kilometers. You want to reset the trip odometer? Watch this. It's an old click machine. It's fantastic. I love it. Oh, it's good. And it's a simple mechanism. It could be a button too, which would have been nice, but that fuels the part of my brain that needed fueling. Some things that I do feel are a little bit naff are that the indicator telltale stalks are like that. It makes it look a lot older than what it is, and the indicators are a lot smaller than what I would like them to be, because, you know, how some drivers are, they just don't see. because they just don't see them. Only has one mirror when I bought it. That's legal in this country. Don't ask me why, but it is. And it looks like they're just aftermarket ones that you can buy from anywhere, so I'll probably sort that out soon. My handlebar mount for one of my action cameras fits in here nicely, but I don't know why I didn't put the other attachment to it, so you get a nice view of my left hand there, so that's fantastic. It's actually got a kill switch. It did have a kill switch on the BMW too, but it was a twisty thing. I didn't like it. This is very simple, easy to understand. Kill switch, side lights, headlights, and of course you've got your main beam too. And of course you've got a horn, a very nice one as well. It sounds like this has got a bit of a cold really, so small bike, but for a small horn, small bike, yeah, you get the idea. But I mean, I like the racing green on it. It's got a nice stylish appeal to it. It feels more me, and I'm very pleased with this acquisition. A lot of people are probably thinking that, oh, it's not good because you traded such a very, very powerful bike for this, but that's the reason I traded it, because it was powerful. Too powerful for my own good. Way too heavy, way too powerful, way too fast, way too expensive, and this is much better, much more comfortable too. I don't have to ride in fear anymore. I can actually ride for the joy of riding. Because it's a lot lighter, I feel like I have to get used to it again, because it feels like I am riding a bicycle, but it's nice. It's a beauty. I like the knobbly tyres on it as well. There's lots of things that I like about it. And the bike is very loud, so if I start it up, you won't be able to hear a word that I'm saying. So this is me talking normally. I can feel the full force of the exhaust when I put my foot up against it, and when I rev it, that's what it sounds like. And I think I have to shout if I want to make my point across, and it pops as well, which is quite appealing. I've lost a lot of credit because this bike is a lot smaller than my last one, but the exhaust noise and the pops make up for it. But my neighbours probably don't share that same mindset. And as what would any respective classic bike would have, it has a choke. So in the morning when it's cold, just pull that out there, push it back in when it's warm to a point. And this is a reserve tank, so what you might have noticed is this very simple speedo. There's no fuel gauge, so you got to guess when you're going to run out of fuel. But luckily, if you switch the reserve tank to on, I think you get about another 10 miles or so before you have to seriously get to a petrol station. But simplicity is the name of the game, and simplicity is what I want. You can have your suspension like eggs, so if you want soft suspension, I check it to soft. If I want hard suspension, I check it to hard. So, and it's both sides. It's nice. It's nice. It's a nice twist to it. So yeah, I'm very appreciative of this one. A lot of people will disagree, but I'm happy, and that's the main thing. And that's it really. I'm happy with this. I'm probably going to keep this one actually. I'm probably going to keep it for a whole lot of year, and I'm going to be a lot more happy when I'm riding the bike. I'm just happy with this. Do I miss the other bike? Nah, not really. Let's go for a ride. Thanks so much for watching. See you later.